welcome everybody to Late Night Racing's Thursday Night Racing Series, the Evo Cup, coming to you for the final round, round 8 at Imola, Italy. So far we've got 10 in the field, just heading out for practice. Have been some quick times put down already, so looking around the 143s to 44s for a respectable time. Just setting up my stream. So guys, just sharing the stream with all the channels and groups. Done. So as always, we have 20 minutes of practice, 10 minutes of qualifying, and into a 40-minute race with compulsory stop for tyres. So it will be a mandatory 30-second stop, as the guys are just rolling out now. Most of them on their out lap, getting ready for a flying lap. Here we have Outback, 369 in the Mercedes AMG. We've got T-Dub 212 in the Italian Stallion tonight, throwing his hands at a Ferrari, saying that the Lamborghini wasn't nice to drive around here, which I can understand. So seems fitting that he's using the Italian car, the Italian track, up the dub. We've got Hobbsy, number 11, in a Lamborghini, trying to strangle its neck and throw it around the track. Cam also in a Lamborghini. Gemma Wolf also in a Lamborghini, so quite a few Lambos, which is good. Haymaker in the Audi R8 GT3 Evo. OIS driver number 55 in the McLaren 720S GT3. Pickle, same, McLaren 720S GT3. Jester in a McLaren as well, so 3 McLarens in a row. Silkia in a McLaren to make that 4. Then we got Shooter, number 85 in the AMG. Now, Shooter is currently sitting in second place in the championship for the Evo Cup. I think he needs the race win, or possibly second, to secure the championship. Not too sure. Not Fast Halley was leading the championship, but I believe he's not going to be here tonight. So, fingers crossed. I'm not too sure. I'll have a look, see if I can find the... that's Pheasant Nights. See if I can find the actual points. Here we go, Evo Cup from last week. So it's 25 points for a race win. The way it sits is Not Fast Halley's on 134 points, Metal Shooter's on 111. So if Shooter wins tonight, that'll put him to 136. 2 points ahead. So he needs the win. Of course, second place collects 20 points. And that only get him to 131. So he needs to win tonight. So good luck with it. So it looks like Hobbs is the first one to be out trying to set a lap. Deep into those left-handers there, manages to hold it on track. Now down into the bowl section. Just got to be careful of those inside sausage curbs. Can tend to throw the car left to right. And we come up to the chicane. There's a lot of curb there. Oh, and runs a little bit wide. Still good. Still 8/10 up on his last lap. Up to the final two corners. A little bit wide of the apex there. Lost a little bit of time. Gains it back up through the second section. Still just on 7/10 up. So put him into the low 46s. With a 46.18. Sparrow's here now too. And Silky, so that's 12 on the grid. Who's at number one? Outback is at number one at the moment, right there with a 44.74. Go on board with a lap. Still with a slight. Gotta be careful of those sausage curbs on that chicane section there. Nicely done through the first sector. A lot of curb there, a little bit loose on the back end there. Back down to first. Tucks it in. A little bit of oversteer. Over the hill. Into the bowl. Nicely done. Lockie's got the suspension set pretty soft to cope with the bumps. Going through there, but he is half a second down on last lap. He's getting a little bit of time back through there under brakes. He's off a little bit on exit there, so nice and smooth. Outback has moved to second place, so Shooter's gone to the top with a 44.65. And his Shooter's bailed out of that lap. Still 9.5 minutes to go in practice. T-Dub back across the line, 7/10 up, puts him to a 47.3, that moves him to 6th. Good lap, good lap. Haymaker with a 48.91, still in 9th. Shooter getting Sparrow getting ready to set a lap. Oh jeez, someone was speeding in pit lane there. The Pickles managed a 46.24, that's moved him to 4th. Silky is about to start a lap. He's just done a 45.94, moved into third. The Outback has now done a 44.24 and just outdone Shooter by 0.4 of a second. T-Dub's getting his head around the Ferrari. Oh, looks like Mr. Brocco's here too. We've got 13 now on the grid. There's Gemma Wolf, 327 in the Lambo as well. Sparrow's done a 48.4. There's Mr. Brocco in a Audi. So a good mixture for the final round of cars. I think we've pretty much got every car listed except for the Honda. Pickle sitting in third with a 45.51. Silky Apollo is about to start a flying lap. We've just on 6 minutes to go. Keep an eye on him. Oh, Shooter gets a little bit loose through the chicane. So that's the second set of chicanes there coming up to the hairpin before heading up the hill. So whether that was just cold tyres, temperature not up. Mr. Brocco had a little bit of an adventure into the dirt too, so it's same place. Wonder whether it was just tyre temps. Just is pretty much on par with his best lap, which was a 46.6. Silky is back in the pits. Wasn't happy with that out lap. Just on 5 minutes to go now. It is only practice, but this is where you need to be tuning and setting the car for the 40-minute race. And also thinking about a quali setup as well. Comes T-Dub. Let's jump on board with T-Dub. Around the final corner. It's 3/10 down, but still pushing pretty hard. We've got Hobbsy still sitting in 6th with a 46.18. Pushing hard. He wants to move into the top 5. Quite a few just laid up in the pits, probably just waiting for quali now. Gamma Wolf pulling off the side. Probably not happy with that. Back to the pits for a bit of a change. Because going out on his out lap. Looks like he'll be getting ready to start a flying lap next lap. Let's go on board with the Flying Pickle. See how the McLaren handles around Imola. start finish line. About the 150 mark, starts to break. Short shift to third to get the car stabilised. Got the exit curve there, nicely done through the first chicane. We go up to the second set. Back down to third, so back to second. Up to the hairpin, hard onto the brakes, back down to first. Turn right in nicely, all the way out to the exit. Just 2 tenths up. Over the hill, back into third. The apex there. Over the left hand side here. Pull down into the bowl. Back down into second. Nicely done through there. He has lost a little bit of time, but he's going a little bit back now. They're just on 1.5 tenths up. Hard onto the brakes. Oh, a little bit shallow there, and then take a little bit of curve on the right hand side. But he's still a tenth up. 100 mark, deep under brakes, back into first to get it turned in, and all through second in the last corner. He's 3 tenths up now. That was a good exit. Just to put him into the low 45s here. 45.15, great lap there from Pickle. Just on 40 seconds to go. Outback is now out. Is he? Shooter's on a fast lap too. Pretty much just on par with his best lap of a 44.65. Oh, Outback's got 15 seconds to get around and over the start finish line to start a lap. Oh, I don't think he's going to have enough time. No, he's bailed out of it. So, time's up. So we'll just quickly dive back to the garage, have a look at the times. So we've got Outback with a 44.25. But Shooter needs 4 tenths. I believe he only had 2 tenths up. But let's see, last 2 corners. Here he comes around this long sweeping straight up across the finish line. Where does he do? He only gains a tenth and a bit, so still 3 tenths behind. We've got Silky coming across the line. Can he improve on 4th? No, he can't. What about Pickle? Can Pickle move up? Needs to gain a lot of time there. He's 9 tenths behind. No improvement there either. Anyone left out on track is Jester. He's sitting in 7th. Don't know if he moved from there. No, so Outback in practice was the fastest with a 44.24. Shooter in second with a 44.58. Pickle in third with a 45.15. Silky in fourth with a 45.78. Teed up in fifth with a 45.82. Hobbsy in sixth with a 46.18. Jester in seventh with a 46.48. Cam in eighth with a 46.89. Driver in ninth with a 47.34, and Sparrow rounds out the top 10 with a 47.94. As we now move on to qualifying, 10 minutes. Everyone starts to roll out and finds their spot. So who's first out? Haymaker's first out. Then Brocco out back, Cam, Pickle, Sparrow, Silkia, Jester, Hobbsy, Shooter. And at least T-Dub in the pits, still yet to roll out. So everyone's just trying to get some temperature and the pressures into their tyres. Can't believe everyone's really close together in this section. But here we go, Pickle's pulling over. Get out of the way. Yeah, I'd do the same thing. Get out on your own, get some clean air. You don't want to get held up by the car in front. So everyone's pretty much almost completing their first out lap. It's hard to know about times until everyone's actually crossed the line for their first flying lap as to where everybody sits. But it'll be this man here, Outback, and Metal Shooter. These two are the ones we need to watch. These two were the fastest in practice. Yeah, Shooters, Outback just going through the last chicane, heading down the hill to the final two left-handers. Into this last corner. Looking pretty tidy. What can he do? Crosses the line with a 45.26. It's a pretty good time. Here comes Shooter. Through the last chicane, heads down the hill to the final two corners. Don't know if he's still on an out lap or this is a flyer. Looks like he's actually pushing. Just the timing sector doesn't seem to be right. We'll soon find out. He crosses the line. 44.93. Shooter is done. So that's actually faster. It's actually faster than Outback, but it doesn't count because it was an invalid lap. Ooh, it takes a lot of curb there. That's invalidated the lap. Outback is going on with it. He's almost a second up on his last lap into the final two corners. It's going to put him into the low 44s. Around the kink on the main straight, and across the line with a 44.13. Great lap there from Outback. T-Dub's in the pits. Just here in the final two corners is 7/10 up, sitting in 5th at the moment. Around the last corner. Uses all the exit curb there. Still a second up. This will put him into the 45s, mid 45s. Across the line, 45.6 flat. Just puts him to fourth. Good lap. Pickle crosses the line with a 44.63. That moves him to second. Great lap there from Pickle. Mr. Brocco just coming up through the sector 2, 2/10 up, coming up to the last chicane. Oh, a bit bouncy through there. Mr. Brocco sitting in third at the moment with a 45.22. But it is an invalid lap, so he'll have to go again. Sparrows in the pits, as well as Outback and Gamma Wolf. Haymaker's on an invalid lap too. Here we go, Cam in the Lamborghini, 5/10 up, down to the last two corners. Sitting in ninth, this will definitely improve. Goes through the kink on the main straight. Where will this put Cam? Crosses the line, 47.14, moves him up a spot to 8th. Comes Hobbsy around the last two corners. He's 4/10, half a second up on his best time of a 45.67. Currently in 6th. Where will this put him? Crosses the line, moves him to 3rd, 45.16. Just on a minute and a half to go. So pretty much now would be the start of the last lap. So Shooter is currently sitting in 3rd. He needs to gain some time and keep the lap valid. Pretty much on par with his best time. Gained a lot of time there under brakes. Up over the hill. And down into the bowl. Lost a little bit of time there. Oh, deep under brakes. I think that's done it for him. Oh, and Jester goes straight on through the chicane as well. They've both pulled the pin on that. We're just on 10 seconds to go in qualifying. There we go, time is up. So far we have got Outback on pole with a 44.13. Pickle sitting in second, 4/10 behind. Shooter back 7/10. Well, we'll just wait for the rest of these guys to roll through. So next to come across the line will be Mr. Brocco. Oh, big slide there, that's now invalidated. And he's bailed out of that. So after that we've got Gamma Wolf. As he's coming up to the same section, to the last chicane. Turned in nicely through there. Oh, he's backed out of it too. So next we'll have Haymaker. Sitting in 11th. And just behind him we've got T-Dub, who will be the last car to cross the line. So can Haymaker improve on his time and move up a position? No, he can't. Stays in 11th. And T-Dub is in 8th. So the way it looks, for qualifying, Outback takes the pole with a 44.13. Pickle in second with a 44.63. Shooter in third with a 44.93. Hobbs in fourth with a 45.16. Mr. Brocco in fifth with a 45.22. Silkier in sixth with a 45.25. Jester in seventh with a 45.60. T-Dub in eighth with a 46.21. Sparrow in ninth with a 47.14. Cam in 10th with a 47.14. Haymaker in 11th with a 47.32. Gamma Wolf in 12th with a 58.44. Probably just getting used to the Lamborghini. I don't think he's actually driven a race in the Evo Cup. So, you know, still early days there. And OAS driver did not set a lap, so we'll be starting from last position in 13th. So as we now just wait for the race start, there's usually 2 minutes before race starts. Temperature today, currently track temperature is 34 degrees, ambient temperature is 27, partly cloudy. So it is a pretty hot track, and as you can see, track temp's gone up a little bit, 36. Temperature's gone up 28. Condition is still fast, and it is still partly cloudy. As the field would now just set, you can see some of the cars there raised up at the front. They're in setup mode, going through, probably changing fuel loads, adding fuel, adding tyre pressure, or taking tyre pressure out, knowing the track's gotten hot. Setting up pit strategies, getting all this sorted now. We've just on a minute before we start racing. At the 30-second mark, we will go into start mode. I can just jump in now anyway. Biker Craig. Another person just rocked in. Welcome. Can't say that I know that name. Can't say I've raced with that person before. So, enjoy, mate. Try not to get in anyone's way if you're not as fast as them. Because it is, like I said, we're looking, Shooter needs to win this to claim the championship of the Evo Cup. So 30-second sign's gone. Everyone will be ignitions on and starting the cars. And getting ready to lead them off will be Outback. 10 seconds. A few glitches there. Hopefully that all gets rectified. Right, so Outback will lead them off. A double file. Someone's just pulled straight off to the side there. Who was that? Mr. Rocco pulled straight off to the side. Don't know what's happened there. Jester's moving himself back into position. Here we go. So here we go, Outback. Bringing them round. All lined up double file. Sticking to under 70. Waiting for that green flag for the final round of the Evo Cup. Waiting for the green light. Wait for it.
Green light, green light.
Green light, go, 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 and off we go. So Outback's got a good start. Pickle's right up alongside him, but Shooter's tucked in behind. Oh, bit of side contact there from Pickle and Shooter. What Pickle's managed to push his way through. He's up into second. Looks like everyone seems to make it through the first section pretty clean. Oh, Hobbsy with a big slide over the top of the chicane. We've got a few off the back there. We've got Jester off into the dirt. The Outback leads them up over the hill with Pickle in tow behind. Then back to Shooter. And then back and forth is Brocco, and Hobbsy's in the top 5. Well, Haymaker runs a bit wide there. T-Dub's right on the back of him. And Gamma Wolf's in the play as well. Oh, T-Dub a little bit wide through that first chicane. Manages to hold back. So Mr. Brocco's actually managed to get past Shooter up into 4th. Or up into 3rd, sorry, for Brocco. Shooter's dropped back to 4th, and now he's got Hobbsy all over the back of him. Hobbsy's got a run here on Shooter. He's going to have a look up the inside. Outback's out of it. It is only early days. Oh, super deep under brakes there from Hobbsy. Managed to have to put 2 tyres into the kid litter to slow it up. Trying to put a lot of pressure on the back of Shooter there. Gamma Wolf has dropped off the back of T-Dub there. But T-Dub's all over the... manages to make the position on Haymaker and moves up to 8th. So Mr. Brocco still sitting 3rd, trying to chase down Pickle and Outback out in front. 1.8 seconds up the road is Pickle. – 30-second stop-go penalty for car number 20, Cam. So, trying to do his pit stop, got caught speeding in pit lane, and Shooter has actually dived into the pits. So this could work in his favour to get out on his own and just start pumping out laps, consistent laps, fast laps, and undertake everybody in the pit stops. So he's going to see if he can do an undertake on everybody. We've still got Cam. We've still got Outback out in front. Pickle in second. 3.2 back to Brocco. Then 4.4 back to Hobbsy. T-Dub's managed to get up past Sparrow as well. He's moved his way to 6th. Next in line for him is Silkia, which is 4.1 up the road. Biker Craig has managed to do himself up to 11th, which is a good start. So Hobbsy now trying to catch up to the back of Brocco. Now that Shooter's pulled out into the pits. So Cam, realising he's got 2 laps to serve his pit lane penalty. Gamma Wolf putting a lot of pressure on the back of Haymaker now. Haymaker trying to catch up to Sparrow. So Silky is now sitting in 5th. So Pickle's still trying to close that gap on Outback, but Outback is just super consistent. There's still a fair distance back to Brocco. Jester back in 10th. So it looks like he's got a bit of damage on the side and back of his car. So whether he's clouded the side of a wall or something, he's dropped down a bit. So now Shooter's back out in 12th on his own. So he's just going to be trying to pump out laps. He comes out back around the last corner. What times are we doing? 44.91. That's the quickest so far. T-Dub now up into 5th. Still chasing down Silkia. Hobbsy now in the pits, and so is Cam, serving his 30-second stop. It's going to be interesting actually. Let's just watch this. Go back here. So Hobbsy's in the pits. Where's Shooter? Shooter's just coming down the back straight, down to the final 2 corners. Shooter goes around the first, now the last corner. Hobbsy's just dropped, so he's got a bit to travel down the straight. Here comes Shooter. And there we go, Hobbsy's just come out behind him. A little bit of a gap, so the undercut worked a little bit, but he needs to pull the gap now while he's got warm tyres. Oh, Haymaker's had a little adventure off. Just has gotten past. And Sparrow sitting in 6th. Good job there, Sparrow. So Brocco hasn't really been able to close the gap on Pickle. Sitting now at 2.8 seconds. And same with Pickle. 2.4 seconds to Outback. Hasn't really been able to close that gap. But Pickle's got the fastest lap of the race at the moment with a 44.54. So he is closing in a little bit on Outback. Outback looked like he had a little bit of damage on the back of his car. Whether that was from a bit of nose to tail, contact on the opening laps. So just under 30 minutes to run. 10 minutes is gone. Already had 3 in for their compulsory stops. Haymaker very wide through that section there. Hang on. What happened to Pickle? Pickle's now down in 3rd, so he's obviously made a mistake. He's probably outbraked himself in the last corner. Somebody had run wide there. Biker Craig looks like. He's pulling to the side and letting these boys go past. Nicely done. So it's unfortunate there for Pickle. Just needs to put his head down now and concentrate, even though Silky is right behind him. Silky is thinking, where can I make the move? Thinking about it, just doesn't quite have the run. Pickle's really good on exit. Straighten the car up and get a good drive out on these corners. Pickles just seems to be opening the gap back up. Jester now worked his way up to 7th from 10th from the earlier incident. Now he's trying to catch up to the back of Gamma Wolf. Shooter's now pulled 5.6 seconds on Hobbsy. The Outback still leads, 7.5 seconds ahead of Brocco. Then 3 seconds back to Pickle. Right, so Gamma Wolf's coming through, stopped as well. Who's that in the pits? Down there. Who's that? Biker Craig's in the pits as well. Just doesn't show the P, so unless he's fast tracked there, and doesn't count as a compulsory stop. So Outback's now catching up here to the back of Sparrow. Because Sparrow's already done his compulsory stop. He should be showing the blue flags. So they know that a faster car is approaching. As you can see there, the marshals are waving the blue flags. But Sparrow will pull over on the main straight here, I dare say. Once we get around these corners. There you go, he's moved straight over to the side. Just rolls out a little bit, lets him through. Nicely done. So Pickle now 2 seconds behind Mr. Brocco, trying to close that gap and get 2nd place back. Silky sitting in 4th. Teed up in 5th. Jester in 6th. Haymaker in 7th. Shooter in 8th. Hobbsy in 9th. And Sparrow rounds out the top 10. Let's just go back to the garage for a sec. We'll have a look. Bring up the map. We can see their Shooter in red triangle. Right, he's got Brocco. He's got Sparrow behind him, then just a few corners back there. Here's Brocco. Then Pickle and Silkia. Then all the way back here is T-Dub in 5th. Just catching up to Gamma Wolf. Then quite 8 seconds back to Jester. And 5 seconds back to Haymaker in 7th. We've got Shooter around on the main straight now. The first one to do the compulsory stop. And Hobbsy, 7.4 seconds behind Shooter. So we just really need to start seeing some of these front runners. Oh, Hobbsy, did you save it? It's too late now. Not even. Has he bailed out? No, can't have. Did he? Yeah, Hobbsy's gone. Well, that's taking the pressure right off Shooter now. So Jester's now in the pits. T-Dub's now in the pits. And Biker Craig's still in the pits. So whether that's from a lot of damage or... I don't know. Rocco's got a bit of damage on the back of his car too. A few scrape marks, so whether that's been a bit of nose to tail. Front runners are still staying out. So Shooter's managed to get past Cam and keep pushing laps. He's doing 45 sixes. Well, Outback is doing 44 sixes. So there's still a second up for Outback. Don't know if the undercut will work. It'll just mean that there'll have to be mistakes made in the pits by Outback for Shooter to have any chance to close that gap. T-Dub in 7th, 3.6 seconds ahead of Jester. Seems to be quite a bit of a gaggle of cars back here. We've got Mr. Brocco, Pickle, Sparrow and Silkia all in the group. Oh, Sparrow cuts the corner a little bit. And been shown the blue flag to let Silkia through. And Brocco comes in. Pickle stays out. Silkia stays out. So it'll be interesting now to see where Shooter rolls in with this stop here from Brocco. So where is Shooter? Just coming up the back section now. You see there on the map, number 85 coming down into the bowl.
We are at
There's the halfway mark, so just on 20 minutes to go. I think Brocco's going to be fine here. The shooter goes through the final chicane. Starting to head down the hill. There we go, Brocco's dropped and he's out. Yeah, massive gap. Well done, Brocco. So Silky now trying to close up to Pickle. So just under 20 minutes to go now. We've still got 4 or 5 cars to do their compulsory stop. Does Pickle go in now and react to Brocco? Nope, he's going to stay out and do another one. So there you go. 4 seconds. Shooter is behind Brocco. Outback's just out smacking out laps. Did a 44.41 to make it the fastest lap of the race. He's gone bald with a lap. To the Outback. Nice and smooth. So it looks like Silky is now in the pits. Outback's going to press on. And looks like Pickles just pulled into the pits as well. So we need to watch now. Fuck. Why does that always happen? So we need to watch now between Pickle and Brocco. So Pickle just stops now. And you see Brocco number 56 just going through the bowl. Coming up to the final chicane. There he is through the chicane. Coming down the hill to the final 2 corners. Through the first one. Now in through the second one. Pickles dropped. And he's rolling. Oh, shooters. Oh, Brocco might have him here. Yep, Brocco goes past. What about Shooter? And Shooter goes past too. So Pickle loses 2 spots in that situation. Very unfortunate. But he will have newer tyres. And she'll be able to close the gap with more grip. So that just leaves Haymaker and Outback to do their compulsory stops. Outback's just out here killing it. Oh, Jester runs a little bit wide, pushing as hard as you can to try to catch T-Dub. The Biker Craig's still in the pits, and now so is Haymaker. So that means it's just Outback to do his compulsory stop. Oh no, Haymaker hasn't. He just crossed the start finish line, that's all. Haymaker always runs long with his pit stops. I don't know why. He must feel comfortable just burning the tyres right out. Sparrow sitting in ninth. 5.5 seconds ahead of Gamma Wolf. And 12 seconds behind Jester. Looks like he's going to be setting a good lap time now. He's across the line, still 2/10 up. 47.5, nice lap. So Silkia is now all over the back of Pickle for 5th. Oh, very wide through there. They're on board. Bonnet view on the McLaren. Trying to chase down the McLaren of Pickle. Pickle just gets great drive out of the corners. You can see his Outback's trying almost at the back of these two. Just on 12 minutes to go now. And still 2 to do the compulsory stop. In comes Outback. Now I dare say Outback's going to have a comfortable lead as well. After completing his pit stop. So nicely done, onto the box. We'll have a watch. It will be Mr. Brocco, who's just coming down into the bowl. And Shooter just behind him. Pickle's under a little bit of pressure from Silky, but manages to drive out of the corners away. So there, Brocco through the chicane. And Outback has dropped and gone. So he should manage to have probably at least a 10-12 second gap. And Haymaker's in the pits now, so everyone would have done their compulsory stop. So there we go, Brocco just crossed the start finish line. Which is, 12 seconds, there you go. And Gamma Wolf's now close that gap right up on Sparrow. Sparrow a little bit wild over the bumps there. And Gamma capitalise on those little mistakes Sparrow's making. Barrel run a bit wide there. Gamma's right on the back of him now. Oh, it's on here. He's in the slipstream. And they both pass Haymaker. So Haymaker comes back out in 10th. So Pickle's got himself a bit of breathing room now, 3.5 ahead of Apollo. And Mr. Brocco just on 11 seconds now to Outback. Just on 8.5 minutes to go. Shooter sitting in 3rd. But unfortunately, I don't think 3rd will be good enough to clinch the championship away from Halley. Which is unfortunate because he's been driving really well, Shooter has. And he's had a couple of race wins. A couple of podiums as well. So T-Dub's in 6th position. 3.9 out of Jester still. So he's managed to move up a position. I did say that's once Haymaker had pitted. Bucket Craig still in the pits. Obviously just called it quits. So Gamma still trying to catch Sparrow. So Sparrow's managed to straighten the car up and do some good laps. Pull the gap back out. Cam's been pretty quiet tonight, just out doing his own thing, sitting in 11th. I'm not sure whether Cam's still new to the sim racing, but you got to see it through to the end to get any results, and that's the only way you get better is by more seat time. Especially running with guys like here in this league. You learn a lot of things from watching them and how they drive, where they aim for corners, where they brake. So you've got to stick with it to actually develop your skills. No, he's doing good. So Mr. Brocco's just been consistent. Still managing that gap of 4.6 back to Shooter. Outback's managed to pull the gap. I'd say his tyre temps come back up after a new set. Back out to 14 seconds now. Pickle's sitting in 4th. Now 5.6 seconds ahead of Silkia. So he's found a bit of speed again, Pickle. Dare say the tyre temps and pressures have come up to optimum. Now just driving the car to its limits. Jester's still not managing to close in on T-Dub. So I dare say he's going to have to set off a 7th. As we are coming up to the 5-minute mark, 5 minutes left. I just don't think. Oh, sorry. I just don't think Shooter's got the speed to manage to close the gap to at least to Brocco, which is 4.5, and just on 4.5 minutes, I think he'll be settling for the third step and second in the championship. But when Outback's in a car that he's comfortable with and on a comfortable track that he knows very well, he's a hard man to beat, and this is probably one of his favourite tracks. So Gamma Wolf has managed to get past Sparrow and create a 3-second gap. So that was well done. Whether Sparrow has made a slight error, not too sure. So we should get a warning soon to say the pit window will now be closed. Everyone has done the compulsory stop. Just Biker Craig is still in the pits. I don't know whether he's actually doing a compulsory stop or not. So Shooter's last lap was a 45.0. Outback's was a 44.4. Where's Brocco? Brocco did a 44.9. So Pickle did a 45.5. Just over the 51. So just don't think. I thought Shoot had more pace than that tonight. Which is very unfortunate. I think that would have been Shooter's first championship. But unfortunately, it's not going to be tonight. As Outback's continues on, I dare say there'll be 2 more laps. So I think everyone now in the top 5 are just in their comfortable position. That's where they're going to end up. No one's really close enough to make any moves on anyone. Everyone's pretty much found their space and their limit, and they're just driving to it. There we go, Outback coming down the hill, the final 2 corners, and then we're getting ready to start his last lap.
Okay, the leader is
There we
on the
go,
final lap now.
on the
Give it
last
all you
lap
can.
now. Nicely done through there. Handles those bumps so nicely. Race King 3. Nah, mate, I'm not racing in this. I'm just doing the commentary. But I will be back racing in a couple of weeks' time with late night racing. I just thought I'd give commentary a bit of a shot. Need out back down into the bowl for the last time. Been driving so consistent tonight. Was fast from practice from the word go. And like I said, when you find someone like Outback who's comfortable in the car and loves the track and knows it off by heart, very hard to beat. Yeah, it is actually. Rest in peace, Stanton Senna. This is the track he had his fatal crash on. We are down into the final 2 corners. Around the last corner as the sun's coming down to set. Outback rounds through the kink. Ooh, almost clips the wall there. And crosses the line to take the checkered flag and the final race of the Evo Cup. Well done there, Outback. Taking the silver home tonight. Well, is Brocco. Crosses the line for second. Well done. The race was 40 minutes, mate. Shooter crosses the line in third and doesn't quite get the championship. I think he'll be 8 points short, I think, now. Pickle now across the line for fourth. Well done, Pickle. Good recovery. I think he ran pretty deep on the last 2 corners. Silkia crosses the line for fifth. Well done. Teed up now around the last corner. Comes up and over the line. Well done, T-Dub. Up the dub. Good result, 6th. And Jester around the corner. Bring home 7th. Just behind him is Gamma Wolf in 8th. Sparrow's going to hold on to 9th. And Haymaker will cross the line in 10th place. Just save that. I'll do that later. So there we go. There's the final race of the Evo Cup, round 8 here in Imola. All done and dusted. So we had Outback took the win, Brocco in 2nd, Shooter in 3rd, Pickle in 4th, Silkier in 5th, T-Dub 6th, Jester 7th, Gamma Wolf 8th, Sparrow in 9th, Haymaker 10th, Cam came home in 11th, Hobbsy in 12th, Biker Craig 18 laps down, finished in 13th, and OAS Driver didn't even start in 14th. So that's it, everyone. Thanks for joining in on our Thursday night series of the Evo Cup. I do believe that we do have what's coming up next Thursday. Well, on Sunday will be the final round of the Pheasant Nights, which will be here as well at Imola. Well, that will be the final round there too. So once we've done that, we then move on to replace the Evo Cup on Thursday nights. It's going to be the Porsche Cup Multi-Clash. So what's going to happen there is all these drivers have actually split themselves into Pro and Pro-Am by setting lap times on certain tracks for the league owner. And what they will do is the Pro drivers will be driving the 2017 Cup car and the AM drivers will be driving the new 2021 cars.
Green light, go, go, go.
So that will replace this series on a Thursday night. And then on a Sunday night after the Fezzer Nights, we will then start a British American GT4 Championship, which is a 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 race series starting at Silverstone. And with the GT4s, it'll be the choice of Aston Martin, Ginetta for England, I think. No. Aston Martin and McLaren will be for England, and then the Ginetta and Camaro for America. So it'd be interesting to see how that goes, but thanks for watching tonight, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this series. Be sure to tune in on Sunday night for the last round of the Fezzer Cup, and we'll go from there. I think I'll be actually back racing after these series, but we'll see how we go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.